Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Capper, and today we're at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in sunny Frederick, Colorado. We are off of I-25 between exits 235 and 240, and I am super excited today because I have one of the newest Winnebago EKKOs built in North America right behind me right now. We've got some really amazing options with this. First and foremost, this is the 2024, not the 2024 Mercedes-Benz 2-liter high-output turbo diesel that gets 211 horsepower, all-wheel drive, 4-wheel disc analog brakes on this right here. We also have these Hankook Dynapro AT2, so all-terrain 2 extreme tires on this. And we have the Method Mark customized wheels on this. So really great setup right here. You get a little extra lift on that to get you on those trails that you need to go. All-wheel drive, man, if you're in Colorado and it's snowy or rainy, icy, you're going to go up camping, going up to the slopes. This is exactly the kind of coach that you want. This can handle the snow, can handle the ice with the anti-lock brakes and the all-wheel drive, plus the additional 5 or 6 inches that you get over what you might see on the Ford Transit chassis. It's going to be a huge improvement over anything else. Now, I also want to point out that if you just we'll take a step back and just kind of like look at this coach, what do you notice? I don't have the graphics on it, and the reason is this is a full body paint coach. So we didn't just do a graphics delete, this is full body paint. So that is like a $6,090 upgrade. Now what is full body paint gonna do for you? Well, it's gonna look a lot better over as the years go by. So as fiberglass and decals tend to fade, crack, and peel, this right here won't do that. So it's a lot easier to maintain with that full body paint. This is in that selenite gray color that I love so much, and it's so popular. And I just want to give a personal story. My wife and I went to Ouray and Telluride for leaf season at the end of September, beginning of October. And we had, well, we didn't, but somebody had one of these EKKOs that had the full body paint in there. And that definitely drew a crowd because a Winnebago EKKO is top tier, best in class RV. And B, these are so rare to see on the road. So just looks great, has great options. Speaking of that, you have right here a little step-in area that has 2 security loops on it. And so you can put your dog on a leash if you're sitting out here, so he or she doesn't run after that squirrel or that rabbit. You can also use that to secure your e-bikes. And then man, this looks so good. I have 2 openings right here for compartment bay doors, and what's important about this one is, like this morning, my inverter wasn't on, so I just came in here, checked it, so that was in the off position, so I turned that from off to on, and then that is going to be your Freedom 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter. That runs everything in here, guys. It runs your air conditioner, it runs your microwave, it runs your TV. Everything in here can run right off of that. And on top of that, we have 455 watts of solar on the roof. So looking at this real quick, just want to show you this. This is 1.5 inches of bead foam insulation in here with this high compression system. So if you see, this turns, and then if you're looking right at that, when I pull that in, it's compressing those seals. So these are the seals it's compressing to keep out dirt, water, air, all that stuff. Cold, heat on a day like today is the cold. And to help with that, I have these dual pane acrylic windows right here, which is gonna also help keep out the weather from in there. And they have great seals. We'll show you that when we get inside. I'm going to come back to the door in a minute. Here's the other, we have another storage compartment. Now, if you just saw me do my video on the EKKO 22A yesterday on the Ford Transit chassis, we have about as much storage space between the 2 of these compartments as you do in the one of those compartments. That one had the tailgate package, which is not an option on this because this is an electric cooking vehicle, whereas the other one uses propane to cook. So Here I can hook up a TV. I have 12 volt and cable, and then I have two 110s right here. And again, these are going to run right off of that inverter, so you don't have to be plugged in to be able to get that 110. Just have that 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter on. And it's the 20-pound easy to change propane cylinders on this, so you can go into any big store that has the exchange system, just bring your old ones in, pop in the new ones. If you're going to go for extended season camping, you might want to go to a store that will refill those, because you can get them refilled a little bit higher. And what those are going to service is going to be right up here. So this right here is my Truma AquaGo, and this is the Comfort Plus system. So first, you can see how nice that full body paint is here, and you got that nice glistening, the metallic colors coming through real strong on that. Now when I open this right here has a recirculator feature, so it's going to recirculate that through the system, so that way your shower is going to be hot pretty much as soon as you turn it on. This is a hybrid system because the instant on hot water tanks don't do too well at altitude above 9,000 to 10,000 feet. They really don't work well. So what this is a 3/4 liter tank. There are temperature sensors of the ambient water temperature going into it, and there's temperature sensors in the tank and then coming out of it. That's all handled by the microprocessor controllers right here, and it's measuring to see how hot that water is getting, so it delivers the proper temperature heat to you and your family. This also has the Truma Vario heat system on it too, so that's what's providing the heat for the interior of the coach, and all that's being run off of this propane right here, so you're not using your diesel fuel on that. And I would like to also notice that this system with the EKKO got the Truma Gold certification, so it's the highest level certification that you can get from Truma. And Truma, engineered in Germany. Those guys know how to engineer stuff. Mercedes, German engineered. Truma, German engineered. And then Winnebago, American built. So pretty exciting. Now, if you're like me, when you're camping, you like to grill up a little bit. So I've got a quick, sorry it's a little dirty, I got a quick connect on my propane right there. It's going to pull it right from here. And you also have these these outlets here, so I can also hook up my induction cooktop outside and cook on that. I can cook two things on my grill or my smoker or my induction, can take care of all of it. Now, all right, we talked about this being a 2024 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis. It's the first one that I've seen. Guess what we got here? Mercedes now has the blind spot monitoring on this right here. So if somebody's pulling up, it's going to let you know if you've got that turn signal on. You're probably used to that in your cars if you have a modern car or truck. Well, now we have that. It's not just the Ford Transit chassis that has these. These are right here. And I think they're a little bit more compact than what you see on the Fords, but I need to kind of get them next to each other to compare. So open here, we've got this nice 50-pound rack, molly rack right here. So this panel right here is, you can use carabiners, bungee cords to strap on stuff right there. And then here I've got two spots to where I can store things. Here I could put a bike right here. And then right here I could put something else, a bunch of gear up there, even coolers. And then what we've got here is we have these connectors. And so when that's broken up, these are super easy to get in there. You just push that in. And then when that's in there, it hooks into any one of these. So you can see right here, I've got one on the bottom here, another one here, and one on each corner on the top. And this right here is very scratch resistant, and it's a honeycomb style. It's about inch and a half of insulation, and it's isolated to maximize or to provide a thermal break, which is going to help keep the cold out and the heat out, depending on what you're trying to defend against. You'll notice here that I've got this Luno bed. So inside this right here, I could technically sleep 3 kids and 2 adults. Now, one of those kids might be in the back bed with the adults if it's a smaller child, but I have this bed right here will go in the front chassis area where the two chairs are. And then I have another setup for a bed in there, which I'll show you later. And then we have the two twins, but if you put that all together, it makes like one big king that you can sleep north, south, or east and west. So you can get a lot of kids in there, a lot of people. So another cool thing about this, if you're looking, I've got right here my two puck lights, but I've got my air intake here, and then here is my furnace exhaust. Not exhaust, I'm sorry guys. This is a furnace. The furnace comes out here. So what's doing is it's actually having this hot air come out and then come back into there. It's keeping this nice and warm. And that way you know that whatever's in here is not going to freeze up. So if you got e-bikes, those batteries aren't going to get too cold. As a matter of fact, you can plug those into one of these outlets here or this 12 volt to make sure that they're going to be fully charged when you're going up and down those mountains. We have another molly rack here. So we've got one on each side. And then I've got a tensioner on this. So let's talk about this Alu-Cab shadow awning, or that's called the Batwing awning. So there's a tensioner that we're going to pop onto this. Normally that's already on there for you, but I've kind of like jerry rigged it right here. So normally you're going to get a little bit more taut tarp right there. What's really neat about these is that they take about, really, to get it out and get it set up like this, it takes about a minute to maybe about a minute and a half. And then you have some straps right here that pull out, so they store right into this bar. You pull it out, and so then I can strap it down there with stakes. I can take this out, stake it down here as well, and then I can do it the other side. So, well, I had that carefree awning on the other side. If it's a windier condition, as long as it's not too crazy on winds, and I've got good capability of getting those tents in, this basically becomes like a nice tarp, way better than a normal tarp that you can use. This right here was product of the year, I think for 23 or 24. So these are used all over the world. They're really great. They've got a reflective heat barrier, so it reflects the sun back to its source, so it makes it a little bit cooler in here. And these are just engineered so well. So I know I'm going to be using this. And so again, a lot of places won't option this in because they're trying to get that low cost, low price. And here, that's not what we got. We loaded this up with everything. So here I've got my water pump. I can turn my water pump on if I want to make a outside shower. I have my freshwater inlet. So I can, if I'm at the house, I'm getting ready to go camping, that's where I'm going to fill that up. Right there, put that in tank fill and put this from winterized to normal. Same with that. So if I'm camping and I actually am at the campsite, what I can do is I can bring my hose right up through the bottom right here. And so that will close when you're not using it to minimize any air coming through there. And this is where I can have my sewer hose coming out here for my gray tank. Now, this gray tank's a 51-gallon gray tank, and notice this is inside. All of your water is inside the coach. Guess what? It's heated. I have a furnace heating valve right there, so that's going to keep this whole area heated. I've got these great compression locks right here. It's going to compress that in there to keep this heated. So in a winter environment, if I am camping at a campsite, which is pretty rare, I'm probably going to be up by the ski slopes or something, but if I am at the campsite, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to have everything full. I'm going to be running off my water pump inside, and then if I need to empty that 51-gallon gray tank and then refill that up, I'm going to go ahead and quickly hook up everything, empty that out, hook up the hose, fill it up, and then close everything back off. Because I don't want to worry about my hose freezing, and I'm just going to minimize any air ingress into the system. So, finally, if I'm also camping, I can fill this up with a gravity drain right here. So I can bring this big 5-gallon bottles or containers and just pop that in right there. So I don't have to have a pressurized city hose hooked up to that. Here is my solar. So if that solar on the roof is not enough for you, I've got another solar option for you here. It's my 30 amp smart plug right here. So you just plug that in, and it lets you know if you're getting the energy that you're expecting to or if you're not. And then just to the left of that's going to be my Truma exhaust. So pretty cool. You'll see I've got the dualies on here because this is that 3500 chassis with a 1030 net cargo carrying capacity, or I'm sorry, total weight. And then here I've got, this is where the generator would normally be, right? So what I've got, because we deleted the generator to add that extra lithium battery, or the larger lithium battery, I have more storage space available. Now you might say, well, I really like to have an extra generator. And I get that. Why would you want to have a generator? Because you can run that to charge it up without starting your engine up. But on this right here, we have a second 280 amp alternator that has a special charging capability to it. So when you're driving, you can charge up the battery in this in 1 to 2 hours. So it is a super capable engine, and plus because we're running that off of the main engine, it's actually going to be putting out less particulate matter and stuff into the atmosphere than you would just on a regular generator. So let's come here. Let's get all three of these open. So this is that massive Lithium 630 amp hour battery. I'm going to tell you right now, under optimal conditions with the way this is set up, you should be able to get up to 7 days of camping on this battery right here. That's also utilizing solar, minimizing how you're using stuff, so that's optimal use. But the reality is even if you do a third of that or half of that, you just start up your engine, guys, let that battery charge up, and you're good to go. So this is also a self-heating battery. This is made in, I believe they're still made in Clearwater, Florida, by my hometown, and there's a great app that you can get that will tell you the capacity and the health of all of your cells. 5-gallon cassette toilet, so very easy to maintain, very easy to empty and clean. Not a whole lot to say about that. So I got 3 windows on each side, and then I also have my cab windows right here. Opening this right here up, this is where my diesel fuel is, so easy to take care. I've got some chassis fuses underneath here. It's my lumbar support. Now guess what this is, guys? Well, first I can extend this multiple positions. So for the long-legged people, you can put that all the way out. For shorter people, just tuck that all the way in. But coming around to this side, I've got 3 memory positions, and this is completely electric, and I've got heat on it as well. So completely electric. This is very easy to set, get perfectly set to where it is that you want it to be, and just take care of everything that you need. So absolutely love this system. I have a huge AGM battery right under there. And speaking of that, you're not going to want to open that up to charge it. So guess what? Notice anything different from some of the other videos you might have seen on this? This engine compartment is different. A little bit, not a lot. So like my electronic control module is here. It used to be there. But a lot of everything is still similar to where it was. So my brake fluid, my windshield wiper fluid, my oil right here. When I need to charge that battery up, there's my positive, and I can hit the negative post right over there. Great windshield wipers right here. And then you can see how compact and nice everything is. My air filter, coolant, and diesel exhaust fluid right here. But if you look at this, just think about something. There's a lot of people who like to advertise that their prices are super low and all that. And one thing about Colorado is we have consumer protection laws. So when we advertise a price, it has to be that. We can't go add a bunch of marketing fees, PDI fees, cleaning fee, all these other things. Another thing, this is it's a brand new coach. So it's only been on our lot for a few days, and it's a 2024 chassis. This hasn't been sitting just a few miles off of the Atlantic Ocean or the Gulf of Mexico, absorbing that salt and getting all nasty. This is nice and clean, full body paint all the way. This is going to really last you a long time. This coach was manufactured in I think it was late August that they started the manufacturing process on this. So we talked about those 3 memory positions. So here I've got memory 3 set up to where I can turn this around. So I just wanted to show you kind of like what that looks like here. and then we're gonna step on into the coach. So as I open this door, just notice how big this door is, how thick it is. We don't have an extra window on there. We want to make sure we maximize the strength of this door. And we also, this has that 1.5 inch bead foam insulation. And then here I have this great screen. Got this strong metal right here, and this is all so many welds on this screen right here. Airstream talks about how many welds they have on their doors. We have at least as many welds on our screen door as Airstream does, and we do not charge Airstream prices, I guarantee that. So with this, you can also see how great these hinges are right here. And you might wonder, well, what is that for right there? Well, guess what? That is when I lock my coach, it locks the door here too. So it just takes that one piece away from you, so you don't have to worry about it. It locks it down. I can still manually lock that or not. And now on the other side here, I've got the tighter screen right here. So it's going to keep out the gnats, the skeeters, and all that kind of stuff. And then I can actually shut this right here, latch that, and then I can also latch this and lock it. So I can leave this unattended and locked right here to where I need a key to get in and out and still have good draft coming through. Speaking of good drafts coming through, let's step in here and I'll show you a couple things. Unzip this. So we talked a little bit about the double pane dual acrylic windows. And before I get back to the bedroom, I wanted to show you this. So if I open these up here, I've got multiple settings where I can put that out at. Actually with this, I can just latch it at almost an infinite number of settings. But the key thing on this is that I can latch it just like this. So I still have space to where air is going to come through. Pop that down. And then right above my head right here, I'm going to turn on this fan, and that's going to go ahead and suck any air through here. So if I have that door shut, I still have an access, because I'm going to tell you, this is a very well sealed up coach. It has to be because of how weatherproof it is. So if I'm going to seal up this coach, have all the doors shut, it's important to have these windows in that area. And I'll tell you, if you're going to try to get into this coach, this is not the way to do it. It's a lot easier ways to, break a window or something to get in. So I don't have to worry about this decreasing my level of security. And again, on a cold day, I'm just going to keep it like that. So we'll go ahead and turn this off so I don't forget that. And then I'm going to start around here in the back. So back here, I've got this set up for where you can see I've got the screen set up here. It's also an emergency escape window. And then here I've got to where the night is set up. So you can see that blocks a lot of the lights out of here. Now, this is a really nice foam mattress with a Frawley system. I'll show you that shortly. Underneath it, very comfortable. You can sleep north and south or east and west. And then I have additional storage here and here, and I have these nice carbon. I'm going to actually open this to get a little bit more light in so you can see. I have these nice felt carpet pieces right here to kind of minimize vibration, noise, and sliding. If you see, I have a USB-C and a USB-A, 12 volt, and two 110s. I have everything you see right here as well. And then here I just have storage. These interior arms lock really well, look nice, and then that is locked. The only way to unlock that is to open that, and it comes out. I have 2-stage LED lamps here. Blue, looks really cool. Set the mood, and then this right here, great for reading. This is set up to be, if my wife and I are sitting here, we want to have some sandwiches or just have some late night snacks. Sometimes I'll eat a yogurt before I go to bed or something. We can have our drinks right here, some cards right here, but this is just like a nice card table. So if it's bedtime, then all I have to do is just get to where I'm going to be laying down and pop this straight down here. And if your dog sleeps with you, catching a little bit because it's still in the plastic. But if your dog sleeps with you, you got a nice place for 1 or 2 of your dogs. Now you can sleep lengthways. I demonstrated that yesterday. So if you're 6'3" to 6'6", you can probably sleep lengthways just straight across without being on your side. So you really can stack up a bunch of your family in here, your dogs, cat, kids, adults, lots of cool things. I can put a TV in the corner there. Probably not while you're camping to see a TV, but there is a corner option for that. And then I kind of mention this once in a while. When I was up in Vail doing the Vail Mountain Games, watching those great kayakers like Dane Jackson win their competitions, we had a Winnebago Mercedes Sprinter based RV up there, and it was the Adventure Wagon specifically. So I set this up, and this goes into the front cab there. I set this up in there with the reflective part out, and it literally lowered the temperature in that front area at least 10 degrees. So we were about 8,300 feet up. And so you get that sun really hit you high up there with less atmosphere. And these work so well. So you've got one for the front, and you got one for each side window. So that's stage one of keeping the heat out, and also giving you some privacy. And so we're gonna come back and to these in a little bit. So I'm just gonna leave those there. I have a drawer on each side. So you notice I do have the protective plastic on this. So I'm sorry, and I know it doesn't look great, but we just wanna keep that on there for next customer. And then here, if you wanna see, this is the Froley system. So the more you push down on these pedals, the more it pushes back against you. And what that does is it just gives people like me who are side sleepers a little bit more sturdy, being sturdy and still being comfortable without being on something super hard like this. And then if you want to see what's under here, so I can just pull this whole piece up. So I've got this little shirt closet right here. Now that's my microwave stuff. So we just have the microwave stuff still there right now. We didn't take it out, but I didn't feel like I need to. I've got the drawer, so you can access the drawer from here. And then coming over to my side, which honestly, this would be where my wife would sleep because that has the furnace. And honestly, like, this is the coach that my wife and I are really thinking about buying, is the Winnebago EKKO 23B. We're just in the middle of buying a house next year, so we gotta wait. So, but anyway, reason she would be on here is because I have the furnace vent and she wants to stay nice and warm. So I've got another spot right here. So here we've got another shirt closet. I've got some of the stuff that Winnebago gives you, like sewer hose. This is your little shower attachment right there, sprayer. But notice right here, I have those two lines coming out. And you might think, well, why are those blocking some of my storage? Well, the reason is because we're not gonna run those outside. Because guess what? It was, I think it's gonna be like 10 degrees next week. My customer's picking up a coach, told me it's going to be 10 degrees. I'm like, well, that's fine. You're going to be covered because it's nice and warm and everything. So it's really important to know that your freshwater tanks, all of your drains, all of your gray water tank, everything is in this coach. It is nice and insulated, just to take away the fear that this is going to freeze up. Now, if you run out of propane or if you don't have your heater on, you will have problems in below freezing. So I just want to be clear, you can't forget about everything. You still have to be running that heater, and that runs off of propane. So that's an important part of this. But as long as you understand that, you're good. I got a little curtain right here because this right here, we can have some friends, some family, some kids up front, so I can get a little bit of visual privacy. And this is where I would set that heat right here. So I've got the water heater and the Vario heat here, and then so I can set all those temperatures there. I'm not going to waste your time on all this. A big part that I haven't talked about, this entire air conditioning system, which is that GE Profile 13,500 BTU, it is fully I can turn each one of these off. I can refocus them. And the other thing is, this right here is not over my head when I'm in the bedroom, so I don't have that louder sound that you do on the 22A or the 23B pop top, because when that pop top's up there, it pops that AC back there. So this is my absolute favorite coach. Speaking of favorite coaches, this is the favorite bathroom. So I'm just gonna get out of the way here and let you see. So notice I've got a nice, again, one of those nice dual pane acrylic windows with a screen and a blackout shade. That's my 5-gallon cassette toilet feature with a nice place I can brush my teeth, I can shave. I've got a nice mirror there, and then a little bit of storage above here, guys. And then if you notice straight up there, I have another right here, I have another place to where I can either close that off or turn it on. So if it's getting a little bit too warm in there, but you like that warm water, you can go ahead and just keep that going. I can turn my water pump on right here, and I'm gonna step in here now so you can kind of get an idea. So with these boots, I'm probably 6'1". I'm standing on this nice bamboo wood that's keeping my feet higher than the water in here. I have this shower which I can turn on or off with this button. So if I want to conserve shower, let's say I'm going out for the weekend with my 2 kids and my wife and I and our dog, so and we just brought the 50 gallons with us. Water conservation is going to be something I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to do what we call in the Navy a Navy shower. You just hit that on, rinse off, turn it off, soap up, get everything nice and clean, turn it back on, rinse it off. And the cool thing, because this is a hose base, I can get all the way down, all the other nooks and crannies, make sure everything is nice and clean. If my dog gets too dirty, I'm cleaning her outside, unless it's a day like today where it's nice and cold. So notice these big magnets right here. What those are for is when I'm shutting this, so you'll notice, don't want to fail to mention, I've got these little washcloth hooks or scrunchies. So those are magnets that keep that shut. But when I'm driving, I want to go ahead and hit that snap in. There's also a snap on the other side. And then when you're taking a shower, you do want to utilize that just to minimize any splash to come in here. We don't want our toilet paper roll all soaking wet now, do we? It might put make an issue of things. So right here, I've got nice storage space right here, and in the Ford Transit version, this is where my refrigerator and freezer is. So I really like this setup a lot better, as you can tell. I've got my for my Blu-ray, my TV, and for my MaxxAir fan, these are my remotes right here. These are adjustable, so I can put these up or down or take them out. Hooked right next to my convection microwave oven, which is really cool because this is unique for a microwave. So not a whole lot of times do you get to see these coils in here. So these are just like you'd see in a like a toaster oven or something, right? So with that, I can cook pizza, cake, whatever. It's up here. There's going to be a recipe in it for you on that, and it also does simple microwaving as well. Here I've got a really nice size window right here, so I can. You want to push that button, and I can kind of push that out, lock that in, keep the flies out, because this fly is going to want to come in. I'm cooking some good food in here. Got a nice countertop right here, right? So if I want to wash my dishes, I can turn this upside down, and look at this absolutely huge, beautiful stainless steel sink. I can wash just about anything in there, including small dogs and newborn babies. This right here is a flow and spray valve, so super easy to utilize. And then these also double as an extra cutting board if you need it. So you can take either side of that, and then you can also make this into a little Pac-Man too, if you think that's cool. So underneath here, more storage space here. I've got my whole house Culligan water filter right here. And then you'll see next to that, did you see that? Okay, and then more these, anytime you see one of these, that's where my heat's coming out. Got my carbon monoxide alarm right here. Got my fuses right here. Nice deep drawer right here. That is, notice it's not MDF like a lot of the other copycat brands use. This is all plied on this wood right here. And then part of my favorite parts of this, the induction cooktop. I love induction. And what's cool about this induction is I can set the temperature and the time. So I can set that temperature. Let's say I'm gonna make a stew and go hiking. I can set that up, set that for 185, 190 degrees, and set it for 6 hours. Have that plugged into right here or right here. And then that's going to be cooking. I'll have my max air fan on a little bit. I might have this open a little bit, not all the way like that while I'm gone. And then that's just going to cook like a slow cooker. More normal usage is going to be just using that for cooking up eggs, maybe some bacon, and you can set that up for 275 for your eggs, 325 for your bacon, and it does it the right, so you're not going to have, you have a lot less chance of burning something. So induction, and this heats up the pan, and this doesn't get hot unless you have something hot sitting on it a long time. Another really cool feature that I like about this is the capability of extending my countertop out here. This is nice and matching, and when it comes time to cutting the carrots and cutting the onions, I can do the same thing here. So I can cut this right here. Great size for my wife. For me, I'm probably going to bring it up a couple inches because this is a more comfortable cutting position for me. But just so you know, you have all these capabilities. You can also bring this outside and cook outside with it. So back to our last part of our kitchen area is going to be our freezer. So this is a 12 volt compressor based refrigerator freezer combination. So everything's easy to use. So if you think about it, in the Ford, that's all the way up here. So for shorter people, you have to be standing on this step to get to that. Here, you'd have to be really short, Oompa Loompa sized, to not be able to get into that. So drawer here, plenty of options to move those up and down. Same thing with here. Winnebago is giving you the complete customization that you need, and this is made by Norcold, made in America. They've been doing this for decades. So if anybody knows freezing and refrigerating for RVs, boats, and whatnot, it's going to be Norcold. Those guys are great out there. Another spot you can hang something on the Flying W. And then if we look right above here, this is where I'm going to have my roof access port. So if you like us to install a Starlink for you, or satellite, or any other things up there, that's where you're going to be accessing that from here. So Winnebago's already put the infrastructure in there to make that easy for you. And you'll notice that I have not just two 110s, but I also have a 12 volt, a USB-A, and a USB-C. So pretty much anything you need to put up there, you're going to have the proper power for it. And that's power, if it's on that 110, is going to be running right through this Antrex 2000 watt pure sine inverter. Here you can see the solar charge controller. So we're getting a lot of solar energy. And I can see where my battery types and condition are. ZAMP, it's one of the leading ones in the country. Here I can see where my current interior environment is, my tanks, and my power. So I can look right here and see I've got 12.8 volts on my chassis battery, and click on my tanks. I can see where my coach and my chassis battery are. So I've had everything running here for, like, according to the microwave, 2 hours and 37 minutes, and I'm still really full on that chassis battery, as you would expect, right? And the other thing, not to mention, I don't want to fail to mention, is that the air conditioner can easily run fully off of your Lithionics battery, so you don't have to worry about any of that. It's going to run, and then again, 7 days of optimal usage with that. And that's good sun, that's managing your energy consumption. But here's the thing, just start up the engine, run that for a couple hours, you're going to get that full charge going up again. So coming up here, this is in the, let me put this here. So this is going to be, obviously this is not in the drive mode, so I've kind of turned this around for you. But the drive mode, I've got a seatbelt here, I've got a seatbelt right here. So this is the, it's kind of behind this, but so it's a 3-point seatbelt, comes around so somebody can be sitting here. This is going to be obviously the safer position because you're forward. It's a 3-point. This is a 2-point lap belt right here. But let's put this away. Oh, I forgot to show you this. More storage. So there we go. So that's going to be right over my head while I'm sitting here. So if I have a laptop, or a kid's got the iPad or the Samsung Galaxy Tab, they can have that right here and sit here and do what they want with that. Now, when you've gotten to your destination, I think there's probably a better solution for this. And what I'm gonna do is set this up real quick. So first, I pull, sorry, I got this back a little bit too far. There we go. So now, and I'm going to come right around you here and get some of these extra cushions that we talked about earlier. And so now I've got seating here for 2 people. Both of these will turn around, so I can sit 1, 2 adults. I could sit 1 adult, 2 kids there, and I could have 2 adults here. So if you're talking about a lot of friends, you can get a lot going on. So what I'm going to show you is, why are we all facing this area? So here is a place that I can put a table. So I'm going to grab these table pieces right back here. And we're going to show you how quick and easy it is to set this table up. There's that. And notice the construction on this. This right here will just go in any area that I want. And then I can lock that down. So what I'm going to do is just look right here. Boom. And now I can rotate this any which way that I want. So right here seems like a pretty good spot. So I can have dad, mom, kids, everybody sitting here eating at the family table. We just did a nice day on the ski slopes. We're talking about all the fun things that we did out there today, and we're having our dinner here. We're not spending too much money out there in the expensive restaurants in Aspen, Vale, Breck, any of those places. We're doing it right here, and we are creating good memories with our family that they say 75% of the time you're going to spend with your child is between the time they are 0 and 12 years old. And my beautiful, lovely daughter, Leah, is 22. And unfortunately, I don't get as much time with her as I would like. But I also know when I was 22, I was going out there and having a lot of fun. So this gives you the capability of setting that up in any type of ED configuration. And for sleeping, you pop this out, and you'll notice I have a little bumper right here, pop this out, lower this down here, change where the configuration of your mattress, your padding is, and this right here becomes a sleep area. In addition to that, because I have that Luna bed, I can set up the other one right here. So what's cool about this is I can easily sleep a family of 4, and even some configurations a family of 5 without having to have a pop top. So I think that this is truly the best RV on the market for what we're trying to do here, which is get out there, adventuring, having fun, and making things happen. So last part, let me set this a little bit up here. So I want to point out a couple things. First, when I started this up, that awning is like, whoa, you can't drive with me out. So it's automatically coming in for me. This is the new Mercedes-Benz MB USA right here. And it's going to have everything set up for me. Something that you don't see a lot, and it's about $1,700 to add it yourself, is I always can see who's behind me. So if I'm in reverse, everybody can see what's behind you when you're in reverse. Make sure that's on. But once I'm in drive, that goes away. So I guess I got to start moving for that. So anyway, once I'm in drive, that goes away, but I can always see this when I'm driving, so I can get an idea of how close people are, where they're at. This is going to have all the modern conveniences of the Mercedes. So we're going to have the blind spot monitoring, as you saw. We're going to have the active cruise control, lane departure warning, and you can turn all those off in the settings right here. So and you can see all that right there. Turn it on, off. I like leaving these guys on. I know some people don't like that. So I typically do, because if I'm going off the lanes, I should know about that, right? I shouldn't be going out, and sometimes it's a little bit annoying, so I'm not going to set it up for visual and audible, and I honestly think that, so there's the lane keeping assist, you can just have it on warning too. So I actually don't think it's an issue. Like, the way Mercedes handles it is probably the best in the industry. And that's Mercedes asking me what can they do for me? How can I help you? Because I happen to say Mercedes. So, so anyway, I'm not going to go through all these right here, but you can kind of see it's got the brake assist. I can have it early or late. So if it's snowy conditions, I'm going to have it on early. And but if you don't like that, you can just turn it off completely. So anyway, lots of options on this right here. I'm not going to waste too much of your time with all that. But what we're looking at again is, make sure I'm in drive. I'm in parking. We're looking at a brand new, newly built 2025 Winnebago EKKO 23B. It's on a 2024 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis 3500 that has the, what is it? The 2.0 liter high output diesel engine, 211 horsepower, 332 foot-pounds of torque. We have that second 280 watt alternator. Independent front suspension on this, the solar panels, the 630 amp hour lithium battery, and the full body paint. Forgot to mention TV, but nice little TV with a JBL sound speaker on there for your kids if it's raining or whatnot. But again, we're located at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. My name is Chris Capper. Please give me a call. I'll take great care of you. You can reach me at 813-333-2988. Love to get you and your family camping in this great camper. So give me a call. Happy camping.